Hey hero, how are you? I hope you are well. Very well.
While someone want to have millions of dollars to be happy, the Hollywood stars, famous athletes and top models lose millions of dollars. This does not deprive them of fame and love popular, but after bankruptcy, they have to live a lot more modestly. For example, as the legend of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, who at the end of his life bought food and clothes, borrowed from friends, but a few years before that, he generously gave cars to some of his fans, and once even flew on a plane to another city to buy himself a hamburger, and we have prepared a compilation of a few more stars that went to ruin with a deafening roar. The Pacino was one of the most successful film roles of Al Pacino. It was the mafia Michael Corleone. Of the trilogy The Godfather, seems to me that his hero Don Corleone would have died laughing if he had said he was bankrupt, and that the famous actor was tricked by his business manager, who invested the financial pyramid Ponzi and went bankrupt, losing all his millions of savings, plus he owed the state $200,000 for tax evasion, plus he was stealing a total of $30 million from the Pacino and his other clients, like Sylvester Stallone, Uma Thurman, to maintain his usual PATXI standard of living. Did not have to appear in commercial, and in several notoriously wasn't very successful films. By the way, the Hollywood veteran was very supported by his young love, Lucilla Soul. Al Pacino thanked his loyalty and support in difficult times. Deservedly, he proposed marriage. However, now it is difficult to say that he is bankrupt. Johnny Depp. He is 57 years old in 2020, at this age already passed through the water, fire, land and air for each episode of Pirates Caribbean. The event received $20 million. However, it has been stripped, as Captain Jack Sparrow, the owner of castles, paintings, wineries and Caribbean lands, is already clear whose fault is, of course, his managers. Since 2017, they have been demanding for $25 millions. Then where the $650 million earned so hard? A significant part of the actor's royalties were spent on real estate. He buys a mansion in the southern France, valued at tens of millions of dollars, as well as another 13 properties in total. The actor spent about $75 million on property expenses related to the maintenance of real estate, amounted to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. Since 2004, Johnny Depp has owned an island worth $5 million, and the boat cost the actor $18 million plus. Johnny Depp is a connoisseur of good alcoholic beverages. The actor spent about $300 a month alone in exclusive wines. Don't forget, alcohol is harmful to your health. The maintenance of a private jet is about $200,000 a month. The actor of these hundreds of thousands of dollars in collectible works of art and rare things that together occupy 2 storage facilities. The storage collection cost the actor $1 million to maintain. The staff of the workers cost Johnny Depp $300 per month. However, despite all the expenses presented by the Hollywood actor, the main factor that influenced the loss of his fortune was the loss of his main source of income, due to numerous disputes with his former lover Amber Heard, who demanded compensation of $7 million from Johnny Depp, then stopped calling him for more performances. The lack of roles on the big screen, the divorce of Amber Girardi, and the generosity of the actor his close friends talked about more than once. All this together led him to bankruptcy. To date, it is known that most of the statements and accusations of Ambrossetti against Johnny Depp turned out to be what contributes directly to the smile on the actor's face. We have to wish good luck to the main Hollywood pirate and expecting new roles in Nicolas Cage cinema. The real name of the actor is Nicolas Kim Coppola, is nephew of the famous Francis Coppola. The stellar roots largely determined the career of Nicolas, but did not become guarantors of his financial success. The actor received an Oscar for Best Actor and was actively filmed in 15 years, managed to win a fortune of $150 million. The Hollywood favorite has always had the strange habit of buying things that he believes define the image of a starman: a dinosaur skull, a whole zoo of exotic felines, a pyramid-shaped tomb, a huge collection of comics. All this cost a lot of money. Let's add to this list 2 castles in Germany, in England a private island, 4 yachts, and what kind of euphoria cage were throwing bills right and sinister until a hole was made in his pocket in 2009, was declared bankrupt, and as tax evasor, Nicholas unloaded all the blame for the happened on his See Yesterday Financial, Samuel Levin. Let's say that deception invested in unprofitable projects, and the owner, who had to sell his properties urgently, sometimes for a third of the original cost. Now Nicolas Cage actively acts in films plus assumes all roles, forgetting stellar whims and demands when choosing, often participates in projects low budget. What surprises not only critics, but also fans, now it's hard to call it rich and successful in Hollywood standards. Lives in a small, modest house, accepting the roles offered by the value of the entire fortune of Nicholas' bank accounts, property and other assets. In 2019, was estimated at $26 million. Toni Braxton, the singer in a loud and simply charming voice, she was awarded the Grammy Award several times, but never learned to manage her personal finances, declared bankruptcy for the first time in 1998, had to auction not only her properties, but also prestigious awards so Toni Braxton was able to pay off debts to creditors. However, in mid-1999, the singer again earned a large sum of money thanks to her participation in the Disney musical, Beauty and the Beast, which came to be on Broadway, but as soon as 2010, she again had to go bankrupt. Her debts reached $50 million, and her fortune at the time was estimated at only $10 million. Just 6 months after the recognition of the second bankruptcy, the singer acquired a luxurious mansion next to Kim Kardashian and Justin Bieber. However, she has worked new albums and also released the reality show Braxton Family Values for May 2020. Creditors and his fortune amounted to $11 million. Mike Tyson, the big name of the outrageous and talented boxer, actor and singer, appears constantly in the press. Although he left this great sport a long time ago, over the years in the professional ring, Mike Tyson has set several world records and won a lot of fights, which helped him win more than $400 million. And Mike Day Zero had it all, including Bengal tigers. He was considered the richest athlete in the world, with big heart throwing money out the window. He didn't care about tomorrow. Life went on like an Iron Mike watch and collapsed as after a strong knockout, he had to separate himself from his tigers, as well as other properties. Of the $400 million earned in the ring, that professional only left crumbs. 5 years in prison for Iron Mike, and were enough to think well and survive. Did not go around the world begging. Began to recover what he lost wisely and carefully. The resistance and perseverance of the champion helped him to get up, continued to perform in the professional ring, and at the same time, he filed one against the former promoter, after having sued him for a quarter of the fortune lost. Today Mike Bibby actively perform commercials and movies. His assets hover around $300 million, but he no longer wastes the money, and also managed to leave bad habits of becoming vegan. Julio Cesar began boxing at a young age. He had older brothers in boxing who took him to the gym where he first learned his craft. He began his professional boxing career in 1980, and his first title was the World Boxing Council version of the Junior Lightweight Championship in 1984. Julio then won recognition as World Lightweight Champion from the rival World Boxing Association when he knocked out Edwin Rosario in the 11th round of their November 21, 1987, match. Behind in points and needing a knockout, Julio knocked down Meldrick Taylor with 12 seconds remaining in the match. Though Taylor staggered to his feet, the referee stopped the fight in the last seconds of the round. He is currently 57 and retired. However, for 25 years in sport he developed an impressive career. In 2019, he released his book A True Story, which narrates many details about his life in and out of the fighting rings. This is how Julio Cesar has a net worth of $10 million. Mexican boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez denied any connection with drug trafficking late night on Thursday, a couple days after El Universal columnist Ricardo Ailman accused him of laundering money for narco cartels and having connections with some of the most powerful drug kingpins in Mexico. Castillo is being questioned by federal officials in Mexico due to her alleged illegal links to Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, while Andrade is being accused of bringing Castillo and El Chapo together.